All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to get started. Good morning. All right. Thank you. I hear a few in there responding. All right. So let me just start by saying welcome back to each and every one of you. I'm extremely excited to see all the lovely faces, to see all the many people who have returned. We have some new faces in the house as well, so I want to welcome you all to Chester Upland School District. Obviously one of the best places that you can work. And I say this, yeah, that's the truth. You talk about having the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of young people. You're given that opportunity here each and every day. This is why it's extremely important that you show up every day on time, ready to make it happen for our children, because they need us so much. So I'm so excited that you all are here with us. Our speaker, who you'll hear from later on, wrote a book, I Chose to Stay. I want to thank each and every one of you for choosing to stay and choosing to come. For those who are new to the Chester Upland School District, thank you so much for that. Before I turn it over to Receiver Nichols to give a few words, I just again say that you all just need to understand how important this job is for our children every single day. As we think about our students who were off during the summer, some had structured activities, some unstructured activities, but if you think about many of our children who really focus on coming into the school district each day for that structure, nice food to eat, people to be around, people to show care and love and concern to them each and every day. This is what you do. You bless our students every day that you show up. So as I spoke to you last year about this, for the betterment of our students in the Chester Upland School District, we need you to bring your best every single day for our children, and they're truly great, appreciative and grateful. So again, I just want to say welcome back to the 23-24 school year. Very excited for what's going to happen this coming year, and I want to introduce Receiver Nichols, who will also bring some greetings.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you, Dr. Parkinson. It is always great to stand before you all, and I usually always tell you that you are appreciated because you don't hear it enough. And I wholeheartedly would like to say that you are definitely appreciated for all of your hard work and dedication to the students of the Chester Upland School District. Welcome back. Thank you so much for returning. Thank you so much for our new staff that have joined us. I wish you all a wonderful, stress-free year. Not stress-free? Okay, I tried. Well, I wish you, we all been on a plane or a boat or something. It's gonna be a little turbulent at times, a little rocky, we might get a little seasick, but we're gonna make it to the end. We'll make it to the end. So again, I'm not going to speak too long because we have a great speaker coming before you today, but I just want to say again, you're appreciated, welcome back, and I look forward to a great academic year for our students and a great and successful year for each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Receiver Nichols. So I'm bringing greetings to you on behalf of Madam President Neal. She was unable to join us this morning, but she did say welcome back, and she wants all of us to have a fantastic school year. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Ms. Bowser to come up, who's going to introduce our student speakers and performer this morning. Ms. Bowser.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back, welcome back. Thank you for your greetings, Receiver Nichols, Dr. Parkinson. I just wanted to, before I welcome everyone, I wanted to welcome you all and just let you know how much you're appreciated. We have some amazing students that come from the Chester Upland School District. Can I get an applause for that? We really, really do. And what you're gonna see before you today is an example of that. We have two student speakers and we have another wonderful angel voice that's gonna bless you. But I also wanted to bring to your attention one of our students who's a young entrepreneur. We have a lot of entrepreneurs in our district and we need to encourage them. Kyra is in the audience here supporting today. Her and her sister started their own t-shirt company called MTK Squared Apparel, and they're really off and running. So thank you to Ms. King for the motivation with the marketing and for all of you that have supported and continue to support. Let's give them a round of applause. So lovely teachers, staff, and administrators, I'm asking you to encourage our students. They've been working really hard. They're nervous. So let's encourage them, give them a round of applause. The first person I would like to bring up is Mr. Jamil Gathers. We know him as Mr. President, Mr. Mayor in the making. He is involved in everything, and he would like to give you some words of encouragement. So let's give Mr. Gathers a round of applause.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I want to take a moment to extend a warm welcome to all our new teachers, returning teachers, administrators, and all staff. I also want to express my gratitude to Dr. Parkinson, Ms. Bowser, the Chester Upland School District for giving me the opportunity to address you all here today. My name is Jamil Gathers. I'm currently an 11th grader here at Chester High School. I attended elementary school here in Chester Upland School District, but I moved out of the district for middle school. But however, I returned for high school. Currently, I hold the position of 11th grade class president. And this year, I will serve as the school student representative. I am also the football team manager, and I actively volunteer at numerous events. I think it's so important to recognize you all for being you and the job that you do. So let's take a pause and give you a round of applause to our dedicated teachers, administrators, and staff, because we know your job is not easy. I understand there may be negative perceptions surrounding our schools and district, but I want to assure you that as a student, I am proud to be a student and part of the Chester Upland School District. While there may be challenges ahead, but it's important to stay resilient and keep pushing forward. Before I conclude, I would like to leave you with 3 powerful quotes that have resonated with me throughout my educational journey. I truly believe that all of these are part of social emotional learning, and if you focus on these things, there will be growth. First, remember that relationships matter more than anything. And I'm going to say it again. Remember that relationships matter more than anything. Building strong connections with our students is essential for their success. Second, let's make our students believe in themselves. Instilling confidence and fostering a belief in their abilities can truly make a difference. And finally, prioritize connecting with students before focusing solely on curriculum. Understanding their needs and building trust will create a positive learning environment. Yeah, that's it. I just want to say thank you all for your time, and I wish you a successful school year.
Now, if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will. It comes from the heart, and he's absolutely right. It's all about connecting and relationships. So next up, I would like to bring another amazing individual that's involved in anything. He always gives an extra hand. These students, all you have to do is ask, and they are willing to work, okay? So let's give a round of applause, and thank you for, getting the crowd going, to Mr. Marcus Benson.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I would like to say welcome back to all teachers and administration and staff. Hi, everyone. My name is Marcus Benson. I'm currently a senior at Chester High School. I'm currently in the marketing program, play baseball, and a part of the CH Urban News team. I also do SEL with Ms. Bowser. I would like to give a huge thank to Ms. Bowser, Dr. Parkinson, and the staff in the Chester Upland School District. As we're about to start the new school year, I want to give some positive tips from students' perspective. Tip number 1, have a positive relationship with your students. This will help the school year successfully. Tip 2, make sure you check on your students. You never know what is your student's mind when they walk through the door in the morning, or what they have been going through. In addition, we the students do not know what kind of morning you may have had. Dang, my hair in the way. or what is going through your mind. This will help build a healthy relationship. Last but not least, tip 3, make sure you communicate clearly. Let's work as a team. By communicating clearly and being respectfully about others' opinions, this will help us students learn how to work together when we see y'all all do that. I hope all these tips will make you all have a successful year, and remember, we represent of what we're taught. Thank you.
That's what I like to hear. And last but not least, I know she's nervous, but let's encourage her. We had a singer that graduated last year. We called her the Songbird, so this is the angel. We're giving them all nicknames. Miss Kyla Blackston is a student from STEM, and she will be singing the song Spirit by Beyonce from the Lion King. So I hope technology works while we get the, because I did not.
Well, it's a lot of y'all. Good morning. Ooh. Yes. Yeah, yeah, and the wind is talking. Yeah, yeah, for the very first time. And the melody pulls you towards it, painting pictures of paradise, saying, rise up to the limit to sky, yeah. Watch your brain and heart up, watch your hang through the night. Spirit, watch the heaven open. Spirit, watch the heaven open. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, when the water's crashing and you're trying to keep your head up high. When you're trembling, that's when the magic happens and the stars gather by your side. Saying, rise up to the limit, you sky, yeah, watch your heart when you rise up through the night. Spirit, watch the heaven open. Spirit, watch the heavens open. Your destiny is coming close. Your destiny is coming close. Stand up and fight. So go on to the fire of light and be one with the great I am. I am girl who becomes a woman. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is talent. This is Chester. Encourage your students to blossom because they all have something in them, just like you all do. Thank you to our amazing students of Chester Upland School District. Dr. Parkinson.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Marcus, Jamil, Kyla. Y'all, you did a fantastic job. Great song. Way to open up the school year for our teachers. This is really what we do, why we do what we do. So thank you. I want to bring up our Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Mumin, who will introduce our keynote speaker.
Thank you. Good morning, Chester Upland School District. How are you today? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the 2023-24 school year. I'm Dr. Latrice Nachol Mumin, Assistant Superintendent for Operations, and I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. L. Dr. Salome Thomas L. lives in Pennsylvania with his family and has been a teacher and principal since 1987. He is currently a K-8 principal in Wilmington, Delaware, and received national acclaim as a teacher and chess coach at Volks Middle School in Philadelphia, where his students have gone on to win world recognition as 8-time national chess champions. Principal L is the author of the best-selling books I Chose to Stay, movie rights optioned by Disney Films, and The Immortality of Influence, which stresses the importance of leadership, mentoring, parenting, and service to others. He is also the co-author of 3 new books, Passionate Leadership, Building a Winning Team, and Retention for a Change. Dr. L speaks to groups around the country and frequently appears on C-SPAN, CNN, and NPR radio. Principal L has studied abroad at Cambridge and the University of London in England, Lehigh University in Pennsylvania, and holds a doctorate in education leadership from Wilmington University in Delaware. He has received the Marcus A. Foster Award as the Outstanding School District Administrator in Philadelphia and the University of Pennsylvania's Distinguished Martin Luther King Award. Reader's Digest magazine recognized Principal L as an inspiring American icon. Dr. L was recently featured on Good Morning America and appeared on the Oprah Radio Network. The Chester Upland School District welcomes Dr. L.
Morning. Well, that's not bad. And see, I asked for a cordless mic, because you can already see, as a school principal, I learned early on in my career that I gotta be mobile. I gotta be willing to be amongst the people. And when I'm in my staff meetings, and the folks sitting in the back or they sit in the balcony and they got the laptops open, I can step back there and say, what are you working on? And they say, I'm working on my lesson plans for 2028, right? I'm like, okay, keep up the good work. But before, we're good, bro? Thank you. Before I move on, I think the first thing I want to do is definitely be thankful for the blessing to be here. It's my 37th first day of school. And you know, it's no other person other than God is responsible for making sure that I'm here and safe and able to be in front of you. But what I have to do is thank his children. Because this is discipline right here, folks. It's talent. When people talk to you about what our kids can't do, I want you to mention Jamil. Is that your name, brother? I want you to mention him. And you know, he's up here talking about developing these positive relationships. We hear what the children want. The question is, are we willing to do the work for that, right? Because those relationships are not about just dropping in and saying, how are you doing? It's about being the person that says, I want to hear from you even on those days that aren't good days. I want to talk to you on when you didn't win the game. I want to be there. I want to be there for you. And these other two young people here, I wrote your names down. What's your name, brother? Marcus. And you see how real they are, because Marcus said, look, my hair getting in the way, right? He talked because he wants the message to get to us. He's not worried about how he looks or what's going on. He wants to speak. They spoke to our hearts today. And I wish every school district, every school would start a program with allowing us to hear from our children. Because there's enough people out here talking about what our children can't do and what they don't want to do. Mention their names. Kyla, is that it? My little Beyonce up here. That takes hard work. That takes practice. And they put it in, and they had to overcome the fear to get in front of. Now, what I was saying is that when they were up here speaking, I said, now they know what we go through as teachers and administrators and staff members, you know, trying to work with it. It's not easy being on that stage because it's not entertainment right now. It's edutainment. We got to educate and entertain these young people because we're competing with so much. But I want to thank you, but also, Ms. Bowser, I want to thank you. This doesn't happen without the adults. This is the relation. This is the work. This is the result of the relationship. The adults that pour in and put the time in. The only thing I'm going to ask is, I know you might have 6, 8, 10 years in, but stop staying until 6, 8, 10 o'clock, right? That's what we got to start protecting our time so we can be here for years with these children. We're dedicated and devoted, but we got to, you know, as a father, I got 2 daughters, and one at University of Pennsylvania grad and one in Philly, but I gotta, you know, you gotta support your kids. Howard transferred to Cheney, AKA, and you know, all that kind of stuff, but I had to learn as a father, you know, it's not the president's ENTS, it's the ENCE they want, right? That's what our children need, and we're preaching that to our parents. My younger daughter's a sophomore at Bowie State, art major, you know I got some arts folks here, but that's the engagement before information. But it starts with us recognizing the importance of what they do and how we need to support them. I also don't want to move on without thanking for the powerful presence of the women here in leadership. Dr. Mumeen, and again, I mentioned Ms. Bowser, and I want to give praises to, I'm going to get her name right, Ms. Henrietta Shelton, who's an educator here for years, Mr. John Shelton, her husband, right? Now let me tell you my connection, right? Their son, John Shelton Jr. is my AP in Delaware. He's been there with me 13 years. And that's your people? Well, he owed me a few dollars, so can you, can I get it from you? You want my Venmo cash app? Heck of a ball player. Heck of a ball player, and as a matter of fact, you know, Bones Highland, big basketball star, he was Bones Highland coach, doing big things. And here's the thing to tell you about John, Mr. Shelton, as we call him. When Bones was an 8th grader at our school, Thomas Edison, Bones kept that cell phone, and we tell kids, you got to turn the phone in. Big time basketball. We knew he was going to the NBA. I said, you don't turn that phone in, son. You're not participating in this graduation. His mother told me, everybody pleaded. He didn't want to turn his phone in. He didn't participate in that graduation. And we were like, Bones, and then he gonna be a millionaire, we gonna be broke, y'all. You know. And Mr. Shelton, his coach, was the one that had to deliver the news to him. He said, I'm preparing you for life. Young man said, you want to become resilient, right? Resilient is about being able to adapt, overcome, but also we got to follow the rules. Right. When that young man, in his senior year, when he made his announcement that he was going to VCU, he didn't wear his high school t-shirt. He wore his middle school shirt. And the reporter said, why'd you wear your middle school shirt? He said, I learned how to be a man in middle school, right? And that touched me more because it shows sometimes discipline is a form of love, folks. Sometimes we think the children don't want it. They're not gonna tell you they want it because it ain't cool. But they want structure. They want parameters. They want guidance. You heard what they were up here asking for. They weren't asking for easy courses. They said connections, relationships. check on me, appreciate me, love me before you ever met me. And I'm sorry if I come across as a preacher, but this work is a ministry. It really, these children will keep you on your toes and your knees every day. Now I see this a clapping audience. Y'all gonna have to understand something. Every time you clap, you're using my minutes. Dr. Parks, he only gave me a few minutes, y'all. It's my brother. But he said, I know you saw the old TV show, was Showtime at the Apollo. We'll yank you off of there. Well, I want to thank you, sir, Dr. Sutton. When I saw you this morning, I just said it warms my heart to see these young men take it, because folks are not lining up to do this work. They're not. They're leaving in droves. So it's important for me to see you. Important for me to see my brother Lou Williams here. I remember when I went early on in my career in Philly. I talked to Lou and Claudia, and I said, I want to be a principal. And they said, listen, son, you got a bright future ahead of you. You can't be arrogant. You want to be a good principal, you got to go in and understand you're serving the people. And I never told you that. And we and Lou go back to University City days. And but it meant a lot, and it's the reason why I'm still a principal 24 years later, y'all, because I never failed to understand why I walk in that building every day. And it's because you, it's because of my maintenance folks need to know that I appreciate the building looking good, right? The children, now they'll try to tear it up, but they love when it looks good and will let you know when it's not right. My bus drivers, my office staff, they're transformers. They just do everything, the nurse, counselor, whatever they need to be. But it takes a community. It takes a community, all people here, to support, our young people. I heard the receiver say earlier, a stress-free year. I said, the man didn't just say a stress-free. We checked that off a couple of weeks when we started thinking about coming back, right? We don't start losing sleep when we come back. Folks talking about welcome back. I ain't welcome back, Carter. We've been back. In our mind, but we come back. Because somebody did it for you. If you ever wonder why you're doing it, because sometimes you might think, do I need to check myself in? Just remember that there were folks that had their heads beat in trying to come and educate you. There were folks that were told they couldn't be friends, they couldn't work together. They came here because they wanted to try to make a difference. You might be looking at this slide here and wondering, why? The man, he's kind of old, but he's still halfway decent looking. Why does he have a picture of somebody else up there? I'm going to tell you why, because those two young men there are, one's a superintendent in Delaware, was an assistant superintendent. And both of those young men, when I was working on my doctorate, I was the young man up there with no hair like me. He's a professor. And I'm sitting in his class. It's a researcher, doctoral level research class. And he said, Principal, everybody thought you had your doctor. I said, yeah, they called me doctor, but I don't have my doctorate. And I told him the story how I promised my mother years ago. And I grew up in North Philly, y'all. Diamond Street, right? Projects. Where, I would think that mothers would be thankful just that their children are going to school and graduate. Went to Massillon, went to Simon Gratz High School and graduated, went to college and came home and had a college degree. My mother raised 6 boys, single mom, from New York. I'm telling you, since Brooklyn, right? I tell you, my mother's from Harlem, Grant Avenue, Jerome Avenue. And I came home with that degree from East Stroudsburg, and I said, there you go, Mom. I'm done. She said, I'm proud of you, but you ain't done. So what is it with you mothers? You're never satisfied, right? She said, no, you got to get a master's degree. I said, master's? I said, I'm going to get the master's. Got the master's, came back, gave it, Mom. I'm done. She said, yeah, you done, but you need to be done. You heard that conversation, right? You hear that. What's next? You got to get a PhD. I said, oh, come on, Mom. I'm trying to be a principal. This is 1999, I'm a first year's principal. And I said, Mom, I can't. She said, do it for me. All right, so, I enrolled in Lehigh, trying to know why I wanted to become a principal and go to grad school at the same time, but I tried it. It was a struggle. And then my mother passed in 2002. And I said, you know what? The pressure's off, right? You ain't got to take no classes. But if you've ever lost one of your parents or somebody close to you, they talk to you. I think I felt my mother around 2015 slap me upside the head one day. So don't think I don't know. You ain't done. So I enrolled in that program, and I told him that story, and he said, I'm gonna help you make your mom's dream come true. He said, I'm gonna be your dissertation chair, and he add a bunch of layers to my research, but 2019, I defended my dissertation. And, here you go. You say, he ungrateful, huh? The people clapping for him, he won't appreciate it. The president of the university attended my defense, and she said, I'm so impressed. I'm even more impressed because about 40 of my staff members attended my dissertation defense. And she said, they must really love you. I said, they do. That's what I thought. So I caught one of my veterans, because you always go to your veteran teachers, they tell you the truth. I said, you really love me that much? She said, we love you, Principal L. But you've been talking about 10 years about finishing this dissertation. We wanted to make sure you were really done, right? See, women, they keep it honest. But so I want to give them their flowers everywhere I go. We can't wait until people are viewed. We got to do it when they're seen. We can't wait till they retire, till their funeral. We got to let them know how much they mean to us. That's right. When they made a difference. There are people sitting in this audience right now who have impacted the lives of people in this audience. We got to find a way to make sure we let them know. So I make sure I let them know how much I appreciate them. And then the thing is, after I finish my dissertation, I got to go in the other direction. Up. Move. There we go. I got it. I'm a chess player. I'm gonna take me a little while, but so we decided to write 3 books together, and these are 3 books that we worked on. The most powerful one, this Retention for Change book, we wrote before the pandemic, and it's all about retaining teachers and administrators. This teapot has been boiling for decades. It's not a new thing. Educators have been unappreciated, undervalued, underpaid, under everything. Underwater, underwriter, just Under Armour. We just been up 600,000 since 2020. It rolled out, it left. We got to find a way to bring the joy back in school. We got to find a way to make it a happy place for our children and the educators that are working for them. And when I was thinking about the young man up here speaking, I was like, this young man probably can just do my presentation for me. Because really, he's saying everything that we talk about, or that we should be talking about on a daily basis. That they're not the distraction, they are the work. If we invest in them, folks, they'll come back. And I'm hoping one or all of you thinking about coming back and working in the Chester Upland School District, doing something. And if not, if you go on to do big things, just come back and just let a child know you can be me because I was once you. Let them just let them know. It makes a difference. And I told you, my mom raising 6 boys, 8 children, 2 girls. I'm the next to the youngest. But my mother walked into my 3rd grade classroom. My 3rd grade teacher was a young white female, not from our community, in North Philly, but saving Private Ryan every day. Mom walked in and said, I need help. My next to the youngest child, my older children not graduating from college and shit. Every reason to say, I can't focus on your son. I got 25, 30 other students to help. That's not what good teachers do. Excellent teachers move ordinary children to do extraordinary things. Worked with my 4th grade teacher, was an older African-American female, had been at our school about 30 or 40 years. We thought she came with our building. Had like 10 after-school programs, remind me of you, right? None of them had a name, all called Get In Here, right? and we got in. That's what we did. They helped me to get into math. Man, I went to grad school. I was, a basketball player. I could skip college and go to the NBA. That's everybody's dream. And my high school counselor and English teacher said, "Come, we need to talk to you, son." I said, "Why? You skip college?" I said, "Yeah. Do you know a good agent?" They said, "No, but we've seen you play basketball." I said, boy, you can't jump over a credit card, right? You are not going to the NBA, but you're smart enough to get an MBA. Why don't you go away to college and come back and help the same community that supported you and your family? And they were right. Went away, graduated, came back, had a 4-year degree but no job. Called my teacher, you told me to go away to school, and said, yeah, but I didn't tell you get a job, because I don't have a job, CAR, or APT. My teacher said, well, I can help you get a job. I have a brother that's an executive producer for Sports Channel. I was an undergraduate communication major at East Stroudsburg. She said, it's part-time, but at least you can tell your friends back home you have a job. Because my friends in the neighborhood were making me feel bad. Because I went to college, they said, you chose Yale over jail. They even made it rhyme. You went to Penn State instead of the state Penn? Like making me, and many of the children we work with, folks, they face the same fear of alienation. Listening to your teachers, listening to your coaches, your parents, and other folks, and it's like, that's not cool. So sometimes they don't know. Sometimes they may ask for a second book, because I don't want them to know I'm in the book, so I'm gonna keep one home, because my mother told me I gotta get straight A's. And my teachers, they understood that and said, I'm gonna help you. It's a part-time job, and I was happy because I was working for what we call the NBA beat. Every week, every month, we spend a day with the NBA player and produce a 5-minute feature aired at halftime of NBA games. Back then, it was on Prism. Okay, these young folks won't know about that, right? One day with Michael Jordan, it was beautiful. Dr. J, Larry Bird. One day with Charles Barkley, very interesting, folks, very. But all of these NBA millionaires would talk about their former coaches, their teachers, their parents, how we need more teachers. And I talked to my teachers about it, and they said, why don't you come to our career day program and talk about, your job. And I walk into Strawberry Mansion, I'm talking to some kids, and they don't even ask me my name. They want to know how many cars Michael Jordan owned and how much money this Dr. J had. But there were a few who came to me after the program because I told them how my teachers helped me get to school. My mother never owned a car, never had a driver's license. First day she ever stepped foot on the campus of East Stroudsburg University was the day I graduated. My teachers took me to freshman orientation, made sure I got back and forth to school. And the kids said, if they did all that for you, how come you aren't a teacher? Right? No adult had ever asked me that question. Some young people had taught me that I became the same person I complained about that. We make it out of the community, we don't come back to give nothing. I walked into my TV job and I quit. And I'm sorry I'm getting a little emotional. I'm gonna tell you why. It's because the kids, I usually don't talk about this around the children, but it's real. There were some kids that led me to this. And I quit my job. And I went and got that master's degree, that done. Walked back into the same school. And I thought the kids would walk up and say, you're welcome back. And they said, you a fool to leave that TV job. We were hoping you would hook us up with a job when we graduated. Because we love them, but they can be very concrete. But I knew right away that I found my home. When you start working with these young people, they can make you feel like you can walk on water. But I also realized that high school reform does not begin in high school. A large number of children who struggle long before they ever walk into this high school. 50% of the kids who drop out nationwide drop out in the 9th grade or think about it in middle school. And I knew that I had to find a way to reach children at a younger age. So I spent the next 10 years of my career at a feeder middle school, at Vaux Middle School in North Philly. And in 10 years, we lost almost 20 young people to murder in our community. You gotta remember this, I started teaching in 87, 89. It's a different time. But I knew I had to find a way to teach these young people that they could choose the behavior, but they can't choose the consequences. So I started teaching them to play chess. I started teaching special education students mathematics on the chessboard. Knights move on right angles. Bishops move on diagonals. A chessboard is a large square that contains 64 smaller squares. I thought I was just giving these students mathematics. What I was really giving them was intellectual capital. Because they were walking around the school carrying chessboards. And if you don't assume anything else about a child who carries a chessboard, you assume that they're what? Right. Smart, intelligent. I learned early on as a teacher that smart is not something you are, it is something that you can become. Because they were walking around the school carrying chessboards, and kids would walk up to them and say, "You play chess? Aren't you in the Learning Disabled program?" They say, "Yeah, let's play a match and see if you should be my roommate," right? It humbles you. They start beating me, beating other teachers, and all the students started playing. And the teacher said, "Why don't you take them out and have them compete against other elementary and middle schools?" And I wanted to, but I was worried. I said, "Wow, these kids have finally found some success, some happiness. Do I want to take them out in the world?" Because you know, the world will ruin the kid. But how can they grow? How can they become resilient if they don't overcome that? So I said, "Let's go." And the students were game. I said, "Let's do it." And they went out and they started winning every match. They didn't lose. They were team match after match. They were winning. They were happy, but I was not happy. This is where your participation begins, because if you came here thinking that I was the only one talking, it's not church, y'all. I need to hear from you, because we have to embrace our role as learner. Even as educator, the role of learner is very important. The impact of an educator is not based on our ability to teach, but rather our ability to learn and be curious. That's how we make the impact. So I need to learn from you. Why? Somebody in the audience tell me, why was I not happy? Don't worry about being wrong. Why was I not happy about those young people winning those matches right away? Oh, that hand went right up. Look, hand went right up. I'm looking for my fellow. Where my guys? Nowhere around. No one. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Felt like they were, I need to go a little deeper. Yes, ma'am.
Did you feel like students should have been special education?
Well, quite honest, she said that I feel like they shouldn't have been in special education. For many of them, I felt like that right away, you know, for many of them. But now this was a group that all of the students, so I had some special ed students, I had some non-special ed students. But that was a concern for me, that I would worry about whether the people would change their perceptions of the young people. Maybe they would think that somehow they might be cheating. You know, it was a big part of what I was doing, because I wanted the students, if they struggled, people would believe it more. They're successful, sometimes it's hard to kind of convince them. Yes, sir.
They didn't think they was winning too much. It wasn't no challenge.
Ooh, that's not, people lose their job for saying that, brother. Be careful now. He said they're not being challenged, that's not good. Where's my other lady out, right here? Yes, ma'am.
I think that they need to experience a loss and then processing through, kind of like how you lost the game, how do I work through this, what are my reactions to it, how do we need to improve, like losses and failures are ways to learn more. They're not a bad thing, you just have to learn, you know, they need to experience that and learn.
Yeah. So I got two people gonna be going to HR now, because she over there talking about they need to embrace failure. So, what'd you say? She said, oh, she changed it, they need to understand it, right? She said, I ain't going. Number two, hold on to that, right? That was the challenge, right? And then that was overcoming that fear of losing, embracing that, because failure is motivating. Success can be paralyzing, right? I know some adults who can't handle that. Don't get the position. Things don't go their way. They don't know how to react. Don't start. Come on, I've been to too many cookouts, y'all. That's how it all starts. Wasn't you just with them? Where are we over here? With my guys, yes.
I was going to say the same thing, like you wanted them to become resilient, and then because they kept winning, you weren't going to experience the obstacles, you ever started to become complacent.
Oh, see, now he want to use big words on me now, right? The young people got to show us up. They got obstacles and complacent. Now I need a dictionary and all this got it. SAT, I know you took the SAT. Complacency, right? That's the enemy of growth. That's deep. What are you doing here? What kind of work you do? Yeah, you.
I'm a computer scientist.
See, computer, I knew it. I know computer science. But I'm joking, but serious, it is so true. So true. I saw another young man, or my sister. All right, y'all, I gotta come clean on this. Y'all gonna know I'm old. This young lady teaching at the you at the STEM high school, right?
Yeah.
I was her principal in Philly. I was her principal. And she said, you don't remember me? I said, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna show you. They never think we remember. I said, your dad is such a big Eagles fan, you would think he played for the Eagles. And the sister here said, yup, you got it right. What you need to say? I'm like I'm on Jerry Springer there.
I'm just saying, like, whether we're talking about success or failure, there's no innovation in just, like, students, they have to be able to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
I was talking to my staff about, see, I just cut you off. I was talking to my staff about this yesterday. We gotta be uncomfortable. We gotta be comfortable with being uncomfortable, but you're too young to know about that. Continue.
I'm like, diamonds are made under pressure. And no matter if you're successful or even if you fail, failure is just a learning lesson. And the success is how you sustain it. So you really have to get comfortable being in places that are unfamiliar because there's no growth when you're not.
Okay, all right, okay, all right, okay. Complacency. Hey, listen, you keep doubting these young people. Listen, we gotta get out of that comfort zone. The reason why people wanna move out, see, because next to the comfort zone, right, is the growth zone. But folks try to avoid that because right next to the growth zone is the frustration zone. So we try to avoid that, so we just stay comfortable. But if we stay comfortable, we don't grow, right, then we can't impact the community. We can't make things better for our children, simply because we refusing that challenge. See, we talking about young people, but this applies. It's universal. And you were right. Is anybody I missed? Because I don't want you on Instagram saying, Principal, I raised my hand, and he talking about he a preacher, and he didn't. Yes, ma'am, you want to say something? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give you the mic, but some people get the mic, and you know what happens. They be on there for like an hour. A lady gave me a problem. I was in Texas. I'm like, Miss, I need that mic, man. You know, I'm a former rapper. I need that.
Yes. Thank you. Somebody set the timer, because, you know, I just want to say this. We did an activity in the lunch group, and also I shared some of it at New Teacher Orientation. You guys, they're all shaking their heads. It's called I Wish My Teacher Knew. And we also did it with the volleyball team, I Wish My Coach Knew. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because Nurse Chester and some other people said the word failure. There was a common theme with our students. They are scared to fail. And we don't know where it's coming from, the pressure from home or wherever, but these are the students writing raw on paper anonymously, but the word failure was across the board. So that's why we need to, even if it makes us uncomfortable, to be comfortable, but that's how they're feeling. And I'm gonna share more with this later when I visit your individual schools, but thank you.
You really were short, I appreciate that. All right, let me get back to my regularly scheduled programming, because I'm fooling around with these young people. But thank you for that input, because it's so important, and that's what I wanted. I wanted them to be challenged. Because see, one thing about young people, they start winning, it changes their attitude. How? Now y'all saying, oh, who say it? Say it loud, please, go ahead. You can go ahead and say it. Nobody, you're gonna get in trouble. They get caught. Now I go, most of you know you're in Chester. Because I go most places, they start with, oh, they get a little self-centered, self-contained, trite. She said, copy. And they do, right? They don't even want to come to practice. I said, practice? You talking about practice? They don't even want to come. But how are we going, right, but then how are we going to get better? But I'm winning. And you know, because there's some amazing athletes that come out of Chester, right? This high school, and you know that what happens to a young person when they somehow stop believing it was the hard work that got them to where they are, that it was just talent. So I said, you know what? I gotta change the road, the path for these young people. I gotta raise the bar. So I said, no more elementary and middle schools. You only compete against high schools. You're gonna make sure I don't go over time, right? We good? Okay. I can. They give me the award every year, my staff. person most likely to hold up a staff meeting. You gonna get your boss that award, right? But I had to raise the bar. We only compete against high schools. And the students were good. There was somebody else in the community wasn't happy with me. Who was it? Yeah, they went to the superintendent on me. And the only reason I know, I have some parents, they're special ops for me. You know, they let me know, the principal, well, they went Target talk about you. I heard Liberty Bell and Principal L, so I'm sure it was you, and they were talking about chess, so you about to lose your job. I said, well, so I went to my assistant superintendent, I said, I need you to help me. He said, oh, I got your back. You just better win. But remember what you said? You said that it's not about the win, it's the challenge. See, I'm gonna be in HR with you. And I took the young people out and they started losing, and losing, and losing. It's what we wanted. You should let them embrace failure. Don't let them be complacent. Let them get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And they're losing. And then they beat Central High School chess team. The Central's one of the oldest high schools in the nation, folks. It's actually Bill Cosby's alma mater, but I don't talk about Cosby anymore. And I said, wow, if we keep raising the bar for these young people, they will rise to our level of expectation. And the teacher said, take them out and have them compete in the tournament. Some of these children never get to travel. And most research tells the young people we work with, by the time they're 18, if they're not traveling to school, 3/4 of the trips they take will be within 10, 15 miles of their home. There's a huge achievement gap, there's also a major exposure gap. So I decided I'm gonna take these students to the largest team versus team event in the world, larger than the Olympics, the U.S. Amateur Chess Championship in Parsippany, New Jersey, right near New York City. Over 220 teams, no age limit. First match, and we pull up to the Hilton Hotel. I got 15 kids in the van. I said, this is the Hilton Hotel. Nice hotel. It's Friday. When we leave Monday, I wanted to be, you know, you travel with children. Some of you your own children. Some of you with baby's kids. You know. When we leave here Monday, I wanted to be a nice hotel. We got you. First match, my students matched up against Bucknell University's chess team, right? No age limit. One of their players, a graduate student, come back to play with his friends. I told the young people, you remember, we started competing against these high schools. You're gonna lose. Embrace it. Get over it. After the match, my girls, this one girls jumped rope, played hopscotch, and my guys playing ball. I'm happy, this is what I wanted, no pouting. They said, yeah, but there's one issue, Mr. L. We beat that team. So I went to find the graduate student. I said, sir, what happened? He said, I got 2 questions for you. These middle school students or tiny adults? He said, who is the chess master that works with them? I said, we're from a poor school district. We can't afford a chess master. These children are surrounded by adults who teach them that success only comes before work in the dictionary. They gotta work hard. They gotta embrace the challenge. They can't be afraid to fail or fall down. See, you preach it. That's the message. Embrace it. If you can look up, you can get up. The next day, one of our young players, young man named Demetrius, we called him Meat. Y'all might have a Meat or two, right? 12 years old, mother from Florence, South Carolina, being raised by his grandmother. He matched him up against a guy in his mid-40s. Been playing 20 years, expert level. I'm complaining to the tournament director. The coaches the New York coaches were very vocal. Can you match this young man up against this expert level player? And he said, sir, we use a Swiss system. We match the top players against the bottom. They work their way toward the middle, but you need to look at the chessboard. I went to look at the board and it looked like Meat was winning, but I said, I'm on the wrong side of the board. But remember what I taught those special education students, that chessboard is a large square. It's the same on all 4 sides. The first time in 35 years of US chess history that a novice player defeated an expert level player. Now, after the match, I said, Meat, how'd you beat that guy? He said, I don't know, Mr. L. His friends were bringing him beer, making noise. And so I was ready to give up, but I thought about the people that helped me get here, because before the tournament, his family had been evicted, and the landlord told me I could go in and grab some clothes for the trip, and then he wouldn't let me in. I reached out to the teachers and folks in school, ladies in the church. They said, we'll raise some money, we'll get him. Now, of course, he wanted Sean John and Air Jordan. They were able to get him some Air Gordons, and he was happy. Now, ladies, y'all use my jokes, you better give me credit, all right? Go to school and tell me, I went to a comedy workshop. He said, Mr. L, I thought about those people who didn't even know me, helped me get here. He said, I left it all on the table. He said, after about 20, 30 minutes, it was like somebody else was moving my chess pieces. He said, I made one move, the guy never moved. Tournament director came over and said, sir, this is not, he said, we're gonna write an article in Chess Life magazine. It's the largest chess magazine in the world. He said, it's never been done before. He said, so we want to treat the children to dinner in the hotel restaurant, because those young people at the same tournament went on to defeat a team of 4 men whose combined age was over 200 years. Never done before. Wow. He said, take them to dinner. I said, sir, this is a Hilton hotel. You don't want my kids in your restaurant. Give me a few dollars, I'll take them to McDonald's, they will be fine. He said, no, this has never been done before. Take them to dinner. So we go to dinner later at night, menu's outside. It's a nice hotel. Read the menu, and then you decide if you want to come inside. I told the kids, read the menu. When we go inside, if you can't pronounce it, don't order it. They went and ordered filet mignon, crab biscuit. But that was their experience. There's some young people who live like that on a regular basis. Remember, there's an exposure gap. See, I'm gonna talk right through y'all clapping and everything, because I'm gonna run out of time. They're gonna yank me off. I watched the Apollo. Y'all saw Bernie Mac on it. I ain't scared of you. This is what our young people can do. And then went on the same year to Knoxville, Tennessee to win a national chess championship. Came home back to Philly. Arnold Schwarzenegger came to visit our school. This is when Arnold wanted to run for governor, run for president. He comes into school talking about politics and technology, and then he started talking about chess. I said, Arnold, you don't want to talk about chess in our school. You want to talk about terminating people, you're good. You talk about being expendable, no problem. Not chess. No, man. Make everybody play on the movie set. You keep them alert. I said, Arnold, I know I'm ruining his accent, but this is Arnold talking. I said, Arnold, don't keep talking, because they're going to challenge you. He challenged one of my girls. I want to play her. Little Denise Picker, pink glasses, honor roll student, in church every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. But she was one of the top 50 female chess players in the nation, the age of it. Arnold, you don't want to play Denise. He said, no, I want to play her. Denise said, you know, Mr. L, I was nervous. He's rich, he's famous, he's married to a woman who has more money than he does, so I know he's upset. I said, oh, they teach you that early. We don't like that. She said, but I treated him just like he was another guy and I checkmated him. Arnold said, you terminated the Terminator. Then he wrote a check. Then he wrote a check for our program for $20,000. We've never asked the school district of Philadelphia for a dime. These children travel to Seattle, Portland, Arizona, Florida, Yugoslavia to compete against the national team. Sometimes they're gone 5, 6, 7 days, fly back home, Philly International Airport. For some of them, nobody there to meet them from home, but the teachers and staff are always there. And the ladies from the church. And you know why we love when the ladies from the church come, right? They always bring what? And not McDonald's. They bring that chicken you can smell from the plane. The pilot, I'm like, slow down, I'm gonna get you a plate. You don't have to bring nothing, I got you. Because they know that every child needs that. See, when I was thinking about my presentation, when that young man was speaking earlier, he talked about the stable relationships. I said, God, you speaking to me through him. They need to be heard, seen. We need hubs where they're heard, understood, and feel like they belong. HUB, every one of these children should be. But also making sure that we're promoting their mental health and well-being. And I was talking to the sister earlier, we gotta also do that for our adults as well. This work is hard. We see some things, folks, see the view of a school from the outside looking in is much different from the inside looking out. I tell people, we seen some things. That teacher for a day, no, that's not what we do. That principal for a day, that's not that work. But so important for our young people, right? But also for leaders. For me, when I became a principal, I had to understand how am I going to help protect and respect and preserve these folks working with our young people. And what was important for me, and the young man mentioned it too, trust had to be important. Trust is the engine that drives relationships. If we can't trust each other, there's not too much going to go on after that. That's right. And once you violate that, it takes a lifetime to get it back. And for our young people, I'm going to be quite honest with you, they'll never get that back to you. That's why it's important that once we get it, we hold it and we make sure we respect and nurture that healthy love is there for them. It's okay to challenge them, but just make sure they understand where it's coming from. And then again, those deep connections with our families, that's what I'm working on now. It's coming out of this pandemic, folks, is really finding ways to reconnect and getting these families to believe in us. Understanding that this education for some will be their salvation. We have to. This became my mantra. This became my motto. Every child needs someone crazy about him. Dr. Rita Pearson, rest her soul, before she passed away, one of the most powerful TED Talks, he said, every child needs a champion, an advocate. They all need to know that there's someone in this building I know that I can count on. And here, I'm gonna go back to what you folks were talking to me about. That building resilient children is not about teaching them how to be successful. It's about teaching them how to respond when they're not successful. What happens after that loss? What happens after you struggle? Because the struggle is the learning. That's the process. And you taught me that. You talked to me about that today. Folks, when Arnold Schwarzenegger came to our school, Arnold said, you know, well, the young lady beat me in chess, I owe you a favor. What can I do? I said, well, Arnold, I'm working on a book. I choose to stay. I'm talking about how, you know, I was at this school, and once the chess team became popular, I started getting phone calls from suburban districts and other schools to come and take $20,000, $30,000 raises. My family wasn't happy. I was turning it down. But I chose to stay. I said, I want you to write the foreword in my book. He said, I got you. I said, he's lying. I'll never hear from Arnold again. When I finished the book, I reached out to Arnold's people, and Arnold wrote the foreword. And in the foreword, he mentioned Denise's name. He never forgot that whooping she put on him. He said, I never realized how chess could become a tool for our young people, you know, in their minds. But I also knew that I didn't want to leave the community, so I became a principal in the elementary school 1 block from our middle school. So now I can have a chess program, K to 8. And I wanted to teach young people chess early, kindergarten and first grade, because that brain develops long before they ever get this. I don't know where my preschool and K folks are, my primary folks, but you know they come, right, amen? Somebody shout out a number. What percentage of that brain is developed before they get to us in school, 4, 5, 6 years old? Give me a number. Woo! Y'all on it. 80, 85% already developed. We can't wait until 5th, 6th, 7th grade to start teaching these children to critically think and problem solve. What age do you, and that last 10, 15% is responsible for judgment, decisions. That's why teenagers make bad decisions. What age do you think that last part of the brain develops? For 25, some smart folks up in here. See, you know, I grew up with guys that took us 2 hours to watch 60 Minutes, so so I'm very impressed. 25. Listen, I had one lady said, 40 years old. I said, wow. She said, my husband's still making bad decisions. But that's why I wanted those young people early. But I also knew that I had to find a way. I couldn't try to be successful at 20, 25 years. I had to focus. So these became my 4 C's of school success, classroom success. Of course, being crazy about our kids, but curious about their lives outside of school. I want somebody in the audience, because that pandemic taught me how much we did not know about our young people. I saw some things on these Zooms, folks, I did not know about my children. Some were positive. I saw some very talented children, but there was some, we had a young man came on Zoom and crying. Teacher said, what's wrong? My grandmother died in the next room. Why'd you get on? I didn't want to miss class. It's how much these children love being in your presence. Somebody share with me something you've done, something your school or colleague has done to show children you're crazy about them or curious about their lives outside of school. I'll give you an example. I had teachers, when I was giving out devices, I was giving 1 per child, 1 per family, and they said, Principal, it's about 4 families live in that house. I didn't know. They knew. They taught me. I had to listen. I had to learn. Listening can be healing for some people. I learned from them. I was able to support those families. What's something you've done to support those families out there? I know I'm not in a room full of people who have never done. Now, I got a hand up in the balcony The balcony, I got the ISS room, so they're gonna save y'all today. Yes, ma'am.
Me and Mr. Whitehead, during the pandemic, when our students were doing their assignments and turning them in, I would ask their parents permission to come to their house and bring them lunch.
Wow.
So that's what we
Now, what
did.
school, man?
I was with CUSD at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, 3rd grade, special ed.
Yeah. That's powerful because, see, here's the thing. See, that's that not being afraid to be among. Now, I'm not, you new teachers, we're not saying go to the houses now, right? Doing home visit, I don't want to see you. If you do, take somebody with you. But a few years ago, my Eagles won their first Super Bowl. And I know some of y'all know I might have some Cowboys fans in there, I'm sorry. Right? But a few years ago, my Eagles won their first, we've been waiting 52 years for the Super Bowl. And we celebrated, we were happy. But the Pope came around the same time. And one of the most profound things he said was that a good shepherd knows how the sheep smell, knows how the sheep feel, not afraid to be amongst the sheep. And you know what somebody taught me in one audience? They said, you know what? I worked on the farm. Those sheep know how you smell. They know about the people. They know when you're real and when you're not. They know when a stranger is amongst them. Powerful. Up in the balcony, y'all chose to sit up there. I chose to stay. Y'all chose to sit up there. I ain't got that 2020 no more, y'all. Yes, I'm glad you called me though. Yes, yes. Stand up.
Hello, I'm Miss Ellis Kusa. So, we talking about how the kids know you crazy about them?
Yes.
All my kids know I'm crazy about them, whether you actually my student or you just a student I'm in the midst of.
Right.
But me and a lot of the Kusa family, we give out sneakers. I do hair. I do all kinds of stuff. I give you clothes. I don't washed up kids. I put on for my kids.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Amen. And listen, and trust me, I'm smart. I've been around long enough to know, I know she's not the only one to do that. I know some of you just don't want to talk about it. You don't like talking about the things. I know that. But somebody got to talk about it so people know and understand about this work is about more than just pencils and book and paper. Some of these children really need somebody. Like, we give out deodorant. We give out soap. I know teachers who take children into their homes when they need a home. Yes, ma'am. I got to move, but I'm gonna give you. Come. Here. Yes. So helping out with a young lady in the prom and moving furniture. With your own bare hands. You wouldn't let me know about that, right? Don't bet. See, that's how men are. We don't want to get credit. We empty the dishwasher. We want no credit. We just don't want to not get credit. She said with my own bare hands. But you know what? But that's important because that's service. And one thing my mother taught me before she left, that if you got to understand, when you're a principal, you are serving the people. And if service is beneath you, leadership will always be beyond you. That's service, right? You got to understand that. It's real in this role. Yes. I'm going to come to you. I won't forget you. Yes.
Where do you want to be from Stetzer Elementary?
Stetzer.
I teach 5th grade, and this is my 8th year of teaching. Every year during PSSAs, I start off my students, I actually cook breakfast in the classroom for them. I bring in griddles, we have pancakes, sausage, eggs, juice, and then that's day one. But every single day after that, we have like continental breakfast, donuts, muffins, fruit, juice. So that way they can start off every day at PSSAs with something on their stomach and they're not sitting there hungry till lunchtime.
Right. Knowing, see, that's cultural competence, y'all. Knowing and understanding, they're coming, we already know what they need. But I need your room number so I can get some of them pancakes if I I'm gonna do a Principal L drive-by. Yes, ma'am, I saw a hand, yes, ma'am. Now, if I run over, I got 10, he said 10 minutes. It's gonna seem like 10, But I got 10 minutes, y'all, so don't get mad at me if I gotta stop now. Yes, ma'am.
The little girl came in my class in March, Pineville, in 6th grade, math teacher. By June, or the end of June, I was a foster mom. The little girl.
You got first of all, wait a minute, you got a new student in March, right? Which the world don't understand. It's no clock. When they move, they come. New student in March, and by the end of June, you what?
She became my foster daughter.
Became your foster daughter. Lived in your house for 2 years. Yes, ma'am.
I did my 13-year-old in my house.
Right.
She lived in my house for 2 years. She called me every day. I was like her mom.
Yes, ma'am. Right. Woo! But you opened your heart and your home to her, right? And that's noble. I probably saved a life. From what I hear about the foster care system, man, you probably saved a life. Of course. Oh, they call. Listen. They call. You know. Listen. Listen. See now, I'm not gonna forget you, but I gotta try to get through. That third C is that consistent adults. Consistency is important because it's that security. And if you don't think these children love consistency, watch when they slip up and call you mom. Or they won't say good morning to you ever in your life, take a day off from work. Come back the next day. Where were you yesterday? You don't even speak to me. But they watch. They watch it because it's that predictability. One little kindergarten girl called me Pop-Pop one day. Don't you ever call me Pop-Pop. Take that 10-day suspension, get them out of here. I don't look that old. Come on, Lou, what you got? You better be quick.
Good morning. I need you to put your devices right quick because I used to be his mentor. And there was a couple things that he did today that I told him not to do, but I'm gonna help you out. Pull out your devices. If you got a tablet or if you got a phone, go to your notes. And I want you to write this down. Even if you've got paper, I want you to write this down. I did not choose the wrong profession. So society has chosen the wrong heroes. Got it? I have not chosen the wrong professor. Society have chosen the wrong heroes. Now, one of the reasons why I said that, because Tom and I talked about this a long time ago, and I know he's hell-bent about helping children. Never call them kids. If you do your homework, Scandinavian word for what? Animal. You want to get a result? Call them children. They know where you're coming from. You call them a kid when you're angry. They understand that. So we refer to them, I heard someone say students, excellent. Scholars, magnificent. Children, love. Because parents don't love their kids, they love their children. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And they don't keep their good kids at home either, though. They send us their best. But every child. Was one more before I go? Yes.
Hi, my name is Cassidy King.
All right, listen, I didn't even hear a name, y'all. Cassidy King, that's the king? That's the king of queens, huh? Yes.
I'm a marketing teacher here at Chester High School. One of the things me and myself and the former teacher here, we started a Deliverance Closet, which is a closet full of free donated hygiene products. So the kids literally is ran by the kids, by the students. And it's full by, it's stocked by the students and everything. And the students actually come to them and say, hey, I need X, Y, and Z. And it's discreet and everything. So yeah, we're working on to add more to the closet.
Right, and that's building leadership right there. What's that, man?
She got a couple kids in University of Children, as well as Drexel for extended programs in the summer, and she's taking them herself to these kids to go to.
Oh, Amen. Right. Give them their flowers, y'all. We can't wait. Don't wait for the retirement party. Thank you. Now, let me get to this last one because they ready to yank me off here. And then we got to develop for our young people a culture of love and support for our children, right? We have to. They have, because for many of them, school may be the only place where they experience that. And all of these things that you talked about today, the clothes closets, all the trees, all the trips and the proms and all those things is about developing that culture for our young people. Folks, I came here today not to talk to you about one exceptional teacher or leader. There are thousands of you out there who've been doing it for years, who made that choice to stay. And I know you heard me here joking a lot, but this is serious work. And I've heard many pastors will say, you can be serious and funny at the same time. The opposite of funny is not serious. The opposite of funny is not funny. Sometimes we need to be able to laugh at some of this. Because it's enough to make you want to walk away, but then you think about what's going to happen when I'm not here. I go into my classroom sometimes, I know my children are down, especially when there's been a shooting in their community and I know they need to be cheered up. Sometimes I just go in and hit some old school rap for them because they listen to this 35 Cent and all this other stuff. You can't even hear it. I said, we had songs you could actually hear what was going on, right? We had rappers that had a message, right? It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. You're showing your age now. I said, it was about, they said, you could, I said, you name anything we had a song for. What about Facebook? We didn't have Facebook back then. But you want Facebook friends, don't you? I said, friends. How many of us have them, right? Friends is a word you use every day. Most of the time you use it in the wrong way. You could look the word up again and again, but the dictionary doesn't know the meaning of friends. And if you ask me, you know I couldn't be much help, because a friend's somebody you judge for yourself. Some are okay and they treat you real cool, and some say you're kindness for being a You like to be with some, you're gonna like this one. You like to be with some because they're funny. Others come around when they need some family too, right? Some you grew up with around the way and you're still real close to this very day. Homegirls through the summer, winter, spring, and fall. And then there's some you wish you never knew at all. This list goes on again and again. But these are the people that we call friends, right? No profanity, no violence. That's that old school. That's what the children need. When you walk home and your neighbor could discipline you. And your mom already knew when you arrived home. That's where I'm from. That's how I was raised. And I came here basically to thank you for choosing to stay, and thank you for giving your all to our children. God bless you, and thank you very much. Que Dios te bendiga. Thank you. Thanks for being a great audience, too. I want to thank you, Chester, and your leadership for inviting me, opening up your heart to the school to me. Thank you so much. And to my young people, always.
Right. Thank you, Dr. L. What an amazing, amazing message to get the school year started. My hope and my prayer for each and every one of you is that I know we all know there's going to be some days where there are challenges and we have the stress, but please keep this energy that Principal Dr. L brought to us this morning. Please keep that energy, that message, knowing that you make a difference every single day. So I'm going to call Dr. Pless up at this time, who has some presentation of some awards that we're going to give out to, not awards, but gifts to good people. So let's get it started.
Good morning, good morning. So for those of you who participated in the trek to the summit, thank you. We do have the water bottles outside for all of those individuals who participated. But based on the numbers of participation, we had 2 Apple Watches that we were able to raffle off to our staff.
No.
Oh. You don't work here. They gonna come get their watch from you. So I just wanted to, again, congratulate everyone. We are starting another wellness challenge. That information is gonna be sent out on the 31st.
You'll have the opportunity to win between 10 and 15 different prizes between August 31st and October. So again, we will send that information out on the 31st. But our two winners is Miss Brittany Vinson from CUSD and Miss Dakisha Saunders Munn from Toby Farms. Okay, they'll be at the table for you. Thank you.
That's what we were saying, you have to be present to win, so someone else have those watches. All right, before we move forward, just we have Board Director Betty McLaren who has joined us this morning. Ms. McLaren, just recognize royalty. Hello. Dr. Sutton, is that it for this morning? All right, that's it. That's a wrap for our Convocation 23-24. Listen, I want you all to have an amazing school year. Thank you for all that you do for our children on a daily basis. And we love you, and have a great, great day. Great year.